Welcome back to How to Cook If You Really Can't. I'm Brian Sandell. Our first lesson we learned about how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Pretty simple stuff, and they're always pretty tasty. This time we're going to learn about how to make an entire meal. We're going to use a crock pot, which is located back here. We're going to use some pasta sauce, cut up some vegetables, and we're going to make it with sausage. So it's a pretty delicious crock pot meal, and it's very easy to do so. So first of all, as we begin, let us defrost our sausage. You can do that in the microwave. You can set it out around breakfast time, and it should be just fine. You probably don't want to put frozen sausage in your crock pot. It won't really cook that well. So let's defrost. It's already set, so we click start, and our microwave is going. Now let's cut up some vegetables, and we will add them to our crock pot. Some people might call it a slow cooker. Ours is the crock pot for everything. First of all, we have garlic. Let me make sure you can see that. That's kind of what a garlic bulb looks like. It has a lot of skin. It's really flaky stuff. You want to make sure you take all the skin off. It's not very tasty and doesn't cook very well. So we take our knife. This is kind of tricky to see. Let me see if I can bring it all the way back here. We don't have a super big budget to produce this. So let me see if I can bring it all the way back here. So take a knife. You always use a cutting board. Always use a cutting board. You don't want to cut things on the kitchen surface. That's not very healthy, and sometimes not very clean. So we're going to cut our garlic balls. We have a couple of them. We're going to cut them probably into thirds right here, thirds or fourths. That makes them so they spread out pretty well. People usually don't eat these. They're usually more just for flavor. So we have four right now. This is my second one. Always make sure you skin it the whole way. How you're going to tell if it's skinned, you've got all of it. It's nice and smooth. There's not going to be any flaky stuff that comes off. The skin of it's all gone. Really nice and smooth. So we're going to cut this one a little smaller. This one we cut into fours, and we'll put that guy in there as well. This is going to be a tasty meal. This is our fourth and final garlic bulb. We're cutting up right here. We just cut that one into thirds. So now we're ready. We got our garlic in there. Next thing we're going to put some onions in. Onions are pretty tasty with sausage and marinara sauce, which we'll put in at the very end. We're going to use a whole onion. You can use whole, half. It doesn't really matter. Onions you probably want to cut a little smaller than you do garlic. You really want to spread it out. Not a lot of people like to taste a mouthful of onions. So the other thing, make sure you skin the onion the whole way. This one's pretty well skinned. You're going to realize it's going to start being real smooth. And it's going to probably start making you cry, depending on what kind of onion you have. So we're going to use a whole onion. We take our knife and we can just slice it any way we want to. We're just going to start chopping away. We got a lot of onion here to put in. We're going to make it somewhat small, not too small. We don't want to be spending all afternoon chopping our onion, but it is going to make our dish nice and flavorful. And tell you what, you're going to have a mouthful of pasta. We're going to put noodles with it later on. We're not necessarily going to show you how to do that, but our sausage is just about done. Hard to imagine. So we got all this onion. That's a lot of onion, my friend. Let me lift up and show you how much onion. This is garlic skin right here. We have all this onion right here. That is a lot of onion. So I really hope my wife likes onion. If not, it is going to be a big meal to eat myself. So I would not recommend kissing anybody after you've had all that onion. So we're going to make sure we don't get any skin in our crock pot. We're just going to dump it all in. So we're just going to take our knife and slide it right in. That is a lot of onions. So we'll take our knife and slide it right in. The good part about this meal, along with the grilled cheese, they're both very easy to do. You can do them very quickly. So our final thing, a vegetable we're going to put in before we put our sauce and eventually our sausages, we're going to put a green pepper. This is actually one of my favorite vegetables. It doesn't have a real strong taste to it, but you can put it with a lot of things, and they're very great. Pizza, salad, any kind of thing with pasta, they're really good. So we're going to cut our pepper right down the middle. When you are using a knife, please make sure you're very careful. There's nothing worse than getting yourself in the fingers. So just make sure you're very careful when you do it. And our pepper, I don't know if you can see, it has a middle right here. We don't want to cook that. We want to pop that out. I'm not 100% sure what the middle's called, but we're going to make sure you pop out the middle here. And this other one, we're going to pop it out too. Another thing to make sure when you're cooking is always always make sure you wash your hands. Nothing worse than getting sick because somebody's hands were dirty and they decided they're going to prepare food. So now the pepper, I like to just take them. I'm not a big fan of using a knife with pepper. I just like to take them, break them up. They can be any size, some big pieces, some small pieces. That is a good pepper. We are just going to take it, break it, and throw it in. So give me just 1 minute to do this. And we're just going to throw all our pepper in there. This is going to be one flavorful and somewhat healthy dish. Not a lot of people eat all their vegetables. So over here, all we're doing, it's tough to see since my computer's so far away. All we're doing is we're breaking the pepper up by hand. It's very easy to do. Very soft and tender. It breaks pretty easily. And we're just dumping it all in here like this. And there we go. The rest of the stuff, we got some leftover stuff. You can see it right there. We're just going to throw that away. That's not too tasty. Now, let's take a look here at our sausage. And it is thawed, ready to go. So we take our knife and we just puncture the package like this. And all we're going to do is we're going to move. This is turkey sausage. Not 100% sure the difference. Well, other one's turkey and one's pork taste-wise. But it should be pretty good. We take our sausage links and throw them in our crock pot like this. And then we are finally, last but not least, you take your marinara sauce. We open it. We're just going to pour it all on top, all over the vegetables and the sausage. Oh, yeah. Make sure we take our spoon here. Let's grab a spoon. Let's stir it up. Make sure it's nice and stirred. Marinara sauce is covering everything. Now, for our crock pot, we're going to make sure we cover it. Grab our lid. This is our lid. We're going to cover it, and we're going to set it. We don't have a whole lot of time, so we're going to set it for about 3 hours and just let it go. Voila, it's a simple dish. It's really tasty. You can either put it on a sandwich or add noodles to it. So we're going to add noodles later. But that's how you make sausage in a crock pot. Until then, take care.